let's talk about compensation. And again, I'm going to go down the row here and ask our panelists to talk about the types of salaries without the specifics, but ballpark, because remember that things change. And the numbers that you see, it could depend on if you're right out of college or with a few years of experience, et cetera. Some of these are examples, but again, it's a range. So, Pete, let's talk about technology compensation in the city.
Well, it's interesting we could start here because probably going to be your lowest point, right? Working for the public sector. However, you will find that the compensation really, whether it be private sector or public sector, are probably going to be very even. Because obviously, if you're a good employee, no matter where you are, they'll find you and they'll pay you. So what you want to do is really get your education, which I'm sure we'll get into. But having said that, we have network engineers. Those are the ones who actually take care of the servers. All the servers that you build the websites on and those things, they do that. That range probably from $65,000 starting point, could probably max out about $90,000. Okay, and that's with a few years of college, all right, and also with a couple years experience as well. You also have from there your C+ Sharp programmers now who are coming out, also from out of school. At least on what I'm seeing, the range looks like starts 60 again, and could go all the way up to to 100. So you're making decent money for good hours and for good cause. And DBAs, there's probably DBAs are going to be way up, especially if you know Oracle and if you know SQL. You can, as a consultant, rake in $180 an hour, okay, as a DBA. So you may want to keep your eyesight on some of those upcoming jobs. So I don't want to give it all away.
I know I am, actually. DBA, database administrator.
Right. So before I give them all, I have opportunities to have the other people talk about your position as well.
Well, we're a little bit probably unique because right now all we're dealing with is federal contracting. But what we look for when we're looking to hire, and on the low end might be an administrative type position. It is going to start in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. With experience, education, it's going to go in, like Peter said, into 120,000 easily. But one of the key things might be is, for all you that are looking to go to college, is trying to get some work experience while you're there. Go out for the mentorship programs or the internship programs, because those type of things help increase your resume and make you more marketable when you do get out of school. Go for the extra certifications. And even if you're not, college-minded, career-minded in that sense, go for the technical schools. The certifications are really big. Like you were saying, the Oracle certifications, the C++, all that type of certifications really help if you're interested in the IT world. If you're more on the business side of it, there's Project Management Institute, there's Knowledge Management Institute, there's all those different certifications that will help increase your odds of getting the higher paid salaries.
Very good. And I know you're all going to put this on your resume, right? Mobile applications. All right.
Absolutely.
Brad.
Traditionally, we deal with the higher end, more of higher end folks, a little more experienced, but overall, that we, as Patty said, that we have jobs that are starting in the 40 to 45 range, and they go, our compensation packages today go to up to 120 plus full benefits, 120,000 per year, and that's just on the technical side. And then there's others that move to the next level. Maybe if they wanted to sell the technical aspects of things, and we get into sales, having that technical background. Obviously, you get into commissions, you can make a lot more than that. So really, what I liked about the IT field was having the ability to really have a very nice top end and really take my career wherever I wanted to take it, or not in that regard. So I think from the financial perspective, that you need to be prepared. I think coming in to start lower. But with that realization that it's an investment in you, it's an investment in your future, in your careers. And as Patty said, that once you get some of that experience, and Peter said, once you get some of that experience, you'll make more money. If you get that experience, the money will come.
Okay, so I'll start at the low end and go up and introduce you to probably a couple of roles you haven't heard of. So on the low end, Quality assurance engineers, that's a new position that more and more people are hiring very specifically for. In the old days, you came in, you worked in the organization, you kind of understood the fundamentals of what you were doing, and then you were moved into quality assurance. Now they're actually hiring quality assurance experts, people that's what they focus on. They know how to develop test plans. Quality assurance engineer in our organization may come in starting around 70. On the very high end, they may be making around $90,000 a year. Developers, again, a lot of people don't understand the developers are not the highest paid people in the room, and I'm going to tell you who the highest paid people in the building are in just a moment and see if you can even guess. So we've talked about quality assurance. Now we'll talk about the developers. Good developer in our organization comes in about 70, 75,000. They can top out at about 125,000. Okay, so we're talking these are really good paying jobs. We still haven't hit the people who are making the real money yet, right? Then we talk about the business analysts. These are the people who are really designing the systems, and I beat that one up a lot, right? These are people that right out of college, a BA, a good BA walking into our organization will start at right around $70,000 a year. That's a starting salary out of college. We think that's pretty good. But does anybody in here have any idea who the people in our organization that are making the real money? And I promise it isn't me. In fact, I will tell you this as just a little nugget, and I'm not bitter about it, maybe a little I am, is that the senior person in this particular field brings home more money than I do, and they work for me. Anybody got a guess? We've covered QA, we've covered developers, we've covered BAs, business analysts. Any idea? Has anybody ever heard the term UI UX engineering? You hadn't heard that yet, okay? So usability interface, user experience engineers. These people have a very, very, very unique job, and it's probably in some ways one of the most technically challenging jobs in mobile application development. And there are very, very few of them out there. A good UI UX engineer can command anywhere between $110,000 and $150,000 a year. Now let me tell you why. What do you think? Anybody want to take a guess at what a UI UX engineer does? No, that's quality assurance. So that's the quality assurance person is the guy that's going in and looking for bugs. UI UX engineer has a very challenging job because when we're developing an application or even a website that we're developing for an audience, we have the UI UX engineers have to go in and they have to understand the demographics of who they're going to be building this for. They have to understand the psychographic behavior. They have to understand the background. What part of the country did they come from? What type of technologies are they traditionally using? What pace do they traditionally use? How have they used computers in the past? And they have to engineer this interface in a way that it will be immediately adopted by the target audience that it's being delivered to. You are really, you're looking beyond just what's good design, but you're looking into the minds of the people that you're building it for. And that's tough. And that's why there's a very narrow audience. And those people tend to make very, very good money, the good UI. Who's hiring those people? Well, the big gaming companies are obviously hiring them. Companies like Nissan are hiring them. Companies like WebTex really want to hire them, but they cost a lot of money. And then the last thing I'll touch on is sales. Sales in our industry right now, you know, and there's a little bit of bitterness internally in any organization like mine. You've got the people who are building it, the people who are laboring over it, the people who are doing the work, the people who are staying there till 9 or 10 o'clock at night to get it done, and they're making a certain amount of money. And then you got the people who are out in the street, they're entertaining, they're playing golf, they're out selling this to the C-levels and the CIOs, the CEOs, and the CFOs, and they're making about twice as much money. And so that little bitterness occurs. So when you're thinking about careers, also think about, do you like people? Do you like dealing with people? Do you like going out and learning about organizations and then coming back and being able to go back and deliver to them a solution that has a positive impact on those organizations? You know, he said it. Brad said it, you know, they make a lot more. I'll tell you how much more. A good salesperson in a mobile application company, our size and bigger, if they're doing a good job, $250,000 is not an unheard of income for those guys. And they're playing golf. So I'm a little bitter about that too.
Well, I think one of the key things though is, and that's someone that's just not a pure salesperson that was selling tractor and trailers yesterday. This is someone that understands the technical industry, that can sit down with a senior executive, understand what their business problems are, their technical problems, and as he said, work with their technical folks to craft that solution. Absolutely, you can make $250 and above, but that's not for everybody. You know, a good technician doesn't make a good salesperson.